Alright, so my friend just sent over 24 minutes for me to test in 24 hours. And we're starting right away with the first one. Alright, for the first myth, when you pair a Flora grenade with a pirate Davy cannon, you can travel half the map. So right now I have my Flora grenade and I'm going to spawn in a cannon, /spawn cannon. And I think we just need to place this down, aim it like so, and then just throw it down and launch myself at the same time. And yes, this is in fact true. We can travel half the map, although I think now I'm dead. Alright, for the second myth, apparently stacking a gumdrop pad directly underneath a slime block can let you jump really, really high. So I have a gumdrop pad. I'm going to place that down, and we jump around this high. And now we're going to place down a slime block. Oh, and I misplaced it. And now we're going to place a slime block right on top of that. And which apparently should be able to go really high. And yeah, this is myth busted. We do not go high whatsoever. Alright, for the next myth, apparently sprinting while jumping is faster than just sprinting. So right now I have my twin brother Devious over here, and we're going to be trying to see if what is faster. I'm going to be sprinting while jumping, and he's just going to be normal sprinting. And whoever can get to the other side first, that declares the winner. Alright, now let's start. 3, 2, 1, go! And I'm going to be spam jumping, and he's just normal sprinting, and I don't know. I think I am a little bit faster. Let's try that again. Alright, so I'm going to stand over here, and Devious is going to be somewhere next to the pillar. I'll go to this pillar, you go to the other pillar. And I'm going to be spam jumping, he's just going to be sprinting. On 3, 2, 1, go! And I don't know, I think it might be tied. Let's see who can get to the black pillar first, and yeah, it is tied. So this myth is busted. Alright, so the Jack Kit just released, and for the fourth myth, we're going to be testing if a Jack blob can ignite with a fireball. So usually you're supposed to use one of these lighters to ignite it, but apparently if you use a fireball, you can also ignite this Jack oil. Alright, so I just placed the oil down, and now let's test the fireball and see if it lights up. And that is myth confirmed. It looks like the Jack blob has actually started on fire. Alright, for the fifth myth, if you didn't know, you can actually do a fireball jump like that. But apparently you can also do a TNT jump. So let's try this out. I need to place a TNT, and right when it explodes, I need to jump. And yes, it is in fact possible. I just got all the way up to here. And alright, for this next myth, we're going to be testing if you can ghost jump with Lucia's pinata. Right now I've placed down a pinata, and I still have another pinata, but it's like a ghost block. So now we're going to see if I can climb up this tower by spamming it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but this does not look like to be working. Alright, for this next myth, apparently the Void Regent axe has gotten buffed and now jumps the same distance as a Jade Hammer. So I have my brother Devious right next to me, and he's going to be testing out the Jade Hammer. So he's going to use it in 3, 2, 1. And he went about that far. And now I'm going to be using the Void Regent axe. And let's see how far we can go in 3, 2, 1. And myth busted, because apparently the Void Axe can go further than the Jade Hammer. For this next myth, apparently if you set your health to -1 in the host panel, you can't move or jump. And this one's a weird one, so I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm setting my health to -1, and we just died. Alright, so this is myth busted because I guess you just die. So is that myth busted? Because you can't jump or move when you're dead. So I'm going to say this myth is in the middle.
What?
Alright, for this next myth, apparently if you search up @TMP Plays Bedwars on YouTube, then click the subscribe button, you will make our day. Alright, so this is Timmy, and he went into the YouTube app and just clicked subscribe, and he just made our day. Thank you guys so much for 50 subs, and it was just last video we were saying that, and now we're so close to 100. So everyone go click that subscribe button. Alright, for this next myth, apparently an Inferno Shielder can deflect a fireball. So I have my brother's Devious over here, and we're going to throw the fireball in 3, 2, 1, and this is myth confirmed. Alright, so this next myth is similar to the last one. Apparently you can use 2 Inferno Shielders and a fireball to keep going back on an endless cycle. So I'm going to throw a fireball and then pull out my Inferno Shielder in 3, 2, 1. And that is myth busted. You cannot create an infinite cycle with a fireball. Alright, so for this next myth, if you use this smoke bomb, then I can dodge projectiles. Alright, so Devious is going to hit me normally once, and he's able to hit me. And now if I go invisible and he uses it, he's still able to hit me. So this is myth busted. Alright, so for this next myth, apparently if you use a fireball and that arrow collides with a fireball, they cancel each other out. So I have my brother Devious here once again. I'm going to throw the fireball. He's going to bow it in 3, 2, 1. And I think that's Miss Boston. Alright, for this next myth, it has something to do with the fireball once again. So apparently, if someone stays behind this wall, a blast-proof wall, then they don't feel the effects of a fireball. So I have my brother Jeeves here once again, and I'm going to throw the fireball in 3, 2, 1. And this myth is busted because he still took damage. Okay, so this next myth, apparently, if you have headless, you can't be hit with projectiles. Alright, so I have this player who has the headless, and we're about to test this myth out. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and this myth is busted, bro still took damage. Alright, so for this next myth, apparently if you use this black hole bomb, you can deflect the fireball. So I'm going to throw the black hole bomb straight, and DVC is going to throw the fireball right at me, and it still hit me, so this myth is busted. Alright, so this next myth also has to do with the black hole, and apparently you can deflect a telepearl if you put a black hole. So I'm going to throw the black hole, and DVC's going to try to pearl into there. And he pearls right in, so this myth is also busted. Alright, so this next myth also has to do with the black hole, and I promise it's the last black hole myth. And apparently you can use the black hole to suck in the Titan. Alright, so we're going to throw the black hole, and right now it doesn't seem to be doing anything, but... Oh, and he's actually taking damage. So it does look this myth is actually confirmed. For this next myth, if you turn off PvP in the settings tab, you're not supposed to take any damage from magma blocks. So I just turned PvP off. Let's place the magma blocks. Not there. All right, let's go down here and place them. All right, now that we have our magma blocks placed, let's try out this myth in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And yeah, this myth is confirmed. You, in fact, do not take any damage. Alright, so for this next myth, if you put a 1 or 0 in your name, you always get on blue team. So let me quickly speedrun making an account, and let's just make my username 110. Hi, my name is local 110.
What?
Oh, man, that's not long. Okay, let's just do this. All right, and let's just make myself a boy, and let's click continue. All right, and we'll see you when we're inside the game. All right, and we just finished creating the account, and now let's just queue into a squads match, and let's see if this myth is confirmed or if this is just another false myth. Alright, so we are just loading into a game, and yeah, this myth is already busted because we're on pink team. Alright, so for this next myth, apparently you can Grim Reaper the soul of someone who just left. Alright, so I have my opponent right here, and when I damage him, and then he's gonna leave. And yeah, this myth is busted because I have a soul nowhere to be seen. Alright, for this next myth, apparently if I place down my turret right over here, and I go into my tablet, and then he has an Inferno Shield out, if I shoot it, it'll deflect. So 3, 2, 1, and... is this myth confirmed? This myth is confirmed. Alright, and for this next myth, apparently you can use an Inferno Shielder to deflect a grappling hook. So I have the Inferno Shielder right here. I'm going to use a grappler in 3, 2, 1. And this myth is confirmed. Alright, so for this next myth, apparently if you eat this speed pie and then have the speed boots on, you go insanely fast. So I have my brother Devious over here who's just going to have a speed pie, and I have the speed pie and speed boots. And we're going to race, and whoever can get to the other side first wins. So in 3, 2, 1, go. And this myth is confirmed. It looks like I go insanely fast. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, because 24 likes equals 24 more myths. Anyway, more videos should pop up around now. Anyway, TMP out. Peace.
No.